Now we are going to see something called the snoot.
The snoot is a light modifier that's added to the strobe to produce a very narrow beam of light. Do you remember the honeycomb grid that we saw earlier? The job of the honeycomb grid was to make the light narrow, a spotlight going straight. Snoots are the same, with the exception that they do the light really very small, very narrow, and very straight. Usually snoots are not used in fashion photography or portraits. It's usually used in still life photography, but you can still use it in fashion. For example, I will be doing a shooting later on, and I will use some snoots to do some special effects photography. One example for using snoots with models, say for example your model is taking a certain pose and you'd like to add some light only to her eyes. So how can you direct light only to her eyes without anything else? You need a snoot, because a snoot will be very slim and very narrow spot of light, and you can aim it to her eyes. So let's attach the snoot and continue talking about it. So now I have my snoot attached to my strobe, and as you can see from the design that it's really very narrow. The opening is very small, and there are something like stairs going smaller and smaller to force the light to go in small straight direction. But if you even want to have the snoot to produce a more narrow spotlight, you can add a special honeycomb grid for the snoot. So this honeycomb grid is attached on the front of your snoot, and now you have a very, very small and narrow spotlight. So you can use it in effects photography or still life, or be creative and use it anywhere you want.